You guys have a good weekend? Yeah, cool. How many of you guys went to the acoustic show thingy last night? Alright. How many of you guys didn't? Did you guys just come for today then?
Yep.
Totally.
So, what was your favorite part of this weekend?
You.
Right answer, that's a good answer. You guys were my favorite part too. I just spent my time here. I didn't really go out too much. Just a couple restaurants, and then we walked down the street, and we were like, wait, this feels dangerous. Looking for shoes hanging out. Are we in the right area or the wrong area? But yeah, so this is a Q&A. So if you guys have questions, whatever those questions may be, I will answer them the best I can, and hopefully we can have fun. Yes?
What would you say is your favorite character that you've ever voiced?
My favorite character that I've ever voiced. It's really hard because there's a lot of characters that I really enjoyed voicing. So I don't know if I have a specific favorite, but I do have a list of favorites. Vash, Ichigo, Lelouch, Kiba, Nero, who else? Rinton was pretty cool, Rinton Thurston, Yukio. Actually, it's like all of them. I just go through it. There's something I like about all of them. There's like the miscellaneous things that I didn't really like Boy in Yellow or Goblin number 13. Those aren't as cool. Random dying ninjas in Naruto. I was a bunch. I've been in there a number of times, not just Sasori or Genma, but like as other various ninjas from every village. Leaf, whatever. I've been a part of any village, but I die. Just about every time I die. Genma's the only one that hasn't died. Yeah. Other questions? Yes.
Have you ever met your Japanese counterparts of Power Rangers, Sentai guys?
Sentai guys, no. They did bring them over for one of the cons. I think I might be seeing them in Kentucky, actually. I think they're bringing the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Sentai from Japan over there. So I haven't, but I think I will be meeting them at some point. My counterpart to Ichigo I met in Hawaii. And I did a con with the guy who voiced Kaneda, but I didn't really meet him. I don't know why. It wasn't like we were avoiding each other. It just didn't happen. Whatever con it was, they kept the Japanese guests separate from the English or American guests. Well, I guess there's Canadians here too. And so some cons do that where they're like, well, the Japanese guest needs special treatment. Which I guess they kind of do because they don't speak English. But, Yes?
I'm just wondering how you feel about the character Fushimi in K.
Fushimi in K? I actually really like that character.
Really?
Yeah, I do. He's kind of a weirdo. Sometimes it's fun to play those kind of characters though. There's something wacky about him, He's kind of, first he seemed kind of normal, but then he got kind of wacky there towards the end. I'm like, all right, there's something interesting about this character. And so I'm hoping that there's more. I think there's more coming, yeah, so that would be pretty cool.
Yes.
It's fun sometimes to play those strange characters. Ryunosuke I wasn't a very big fan of though, from Fate Stay 9-0, whatever it's called. Yeah, he's like a child killer. It's disturbing. Yeah, it was really weird to play him. Yes?
Can you do me a favor and say Getsuga Tsukusho no Ichigo voice?
Getsuga Tsukusho! Nothing happens when I do it though. Yes?
How do you feel as playing as Isaiah? Do you feel like as powerful as him, or do you feel like second class?
Wait, when I'm voicing him?
Yeah, do you feel like as if you're as powerful as if you're voicing him, or do you feel like second class?
Second, what? Class? Second class to him?
Yes.
As I'm voicing him? As I'm voicing him, I feel like I'm him. Like I just become the character. You know? Yeah, so if you think he's second class, then I guess that would be your perspective. But no, for me, it's like I just become who he is. Or do you just mean like in real life? In real life, he's not real. But no, what I do, I really get into the characters. Usually when I'm playing the character, I just kind of become that character. So whatever he's going through, you know, if it's getting stabbed or whatever, or stepping on the cell phone, I just become that person, you know? Yes?
Could you actually describe the process of getting into character for Isaiah?
For getting into character for Isaiah, usually there's not a big process. Usually it's just I show up, I remember usually where I came from or what happened in the first season, really, mostly. And then I basically go in and they just fill me in. All right, what's happening in this scene? What's going to happen? Sometimes they won't tell me because they want it to be a surprise. But usually they give me a run up, you know, what just happened or where he's coming from, and then I just go into there. And then they'll usually play like a voice ref just to remind me, you know, where I was vocally. And then I just go for it, you know, because he's kind of more in my natural range anyway, so it's not, there's nothing I really need to think about too much, but he's just more calculated, yes, you know. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot, but there are some characters where it takes a while, you know, or I might need to warm up my voice. Like if I'm doing a kid voice, I usually, like I'll have something, like, my name's Nate Adams, you know, and then I go into the, you know, yokai watch, you know, and I figure out, like I'll have something I say. I was just going to say another one, but I can't talk about that one yet. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, I usually have stuff that some people just say the character's name, you know, and then that gets them into it, yeah. Lelouch laugh? Like when he was going crazy? Oh, crap. Okay. Yes. Alright, so yeah, alright. He's going crazy. Yeah, alright, okay.
It's cool like what?
I have to almost cry every time. It's like a little weird. It has to be a little weird. Yeah. Yes.
Could you say in Bash's voice how much you love donuts?
Bash's voice? I love donuts! Yes, Lionel. Yes.
You were the voice actor for Hina that the super dynamic drama with Bakersfield. If you were to voice any other character, who else would you voice?
In that game?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only character I wanted to voice. Who else do you think I should have voiced? Who else could I have voiced in there? Did you like the game? Yeah?
Yes.
Are they doing more?
There's a third one.
They are? Yeah. Sweet. Was he not in it? No.
We don't know.
Oh, never mind then. Not sweet. Yes.
How did you feel when you were working with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
JoJo? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was bizarre. it was kind of weird. I had to like. Well, here's the thing. Okay, it's so over the top, you know, that you kind of have to just forget that it's over the top. If you think about it too much, it's kind of like you just need to enjoy it. It's just wacky. One of the things I remember is JoJo's fighting. What's his face? Dio. Yeah. And what was it? He's like, he threw a rose at him. He threw like a rose at him, right? And then Dio's like, like chopping it up, like, oh, rose! And I was like, it's a rose! It's a rose, what's going on? And it's just like silly things like that. But I mean, at first, when I first started working on it, I was like, are you guys kidding me? This is so weird. But then after a while, I was like, man, it's kind of cool though. It's kinda, because it is so wacky, and over the top. I don't know, I enjoyed it actually. At first, it was weird for me because it was a break from the norm, I guess, of what I was doing. And then it just became kind of fun actually. It's like I don't know. I was never on Dragon Ball or any of those things. So for me, that was like my Dragon Ball, I guess. Yes.
When you play as Artemis in Sailor Moon, how do you feel about being Artemis?
I love being Artemis, actually. I auditioned for a few different characters. I auditioned for Tuxedo Mask. I auditioned for a couple of villains. Jade.
The Quadrant Knights.
And some other height. There's like a couple of them, right? But Artemis was the one. That they kept sending me to re-audition for. And I missed it the second time, and I was like, whatever. And then they're like, no, audition for it. But he's a lot of fun. He's really cool. I really like because we're going through the original series, and he's just goofier, and he's kind of fun, Crystal is much more like the manga, I guess, and so it's a little more serious. But I do have more fun doing the older stuff, just because he's kind of goofy. He kind of reminds me occasionally of Vash. Like if Vash was a cat, he just does weird stuff. Yes. Yeah, go for it.
I was wondering if you ever saw like that dark version of Power Rangers they made.
The Power Ranger fan film? Yeah. I thought it was kind of cool actually. It was like Michael Bay's version of Power Rangers. And I remember my first impression, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I was like, holy cow, what was their budget? I was like, their Megazord looks better than ours did in the first one. I didn't like their suits. I thought their suits and helmets weren't as cool, but I thought it was an interesting take, I didn't mind it. It's a fan film, whatever. And I liked that Adam wasn't in it, that he didn't get killed or anything. So there was a chance somewhere. Rocky, traitor. Did you like it? Or was it like, man, that's not Power Rangers? That's where I usually find people are like, yeah, it's pretty sweet. Other people are like, dude, that's not Power Rangers. It's like, yeah, no, I mean, it's a different take on it. Yes. Yeah. What martial arts do I do?
Yeah, which one's your favorite?
What? Sorry.
Which martial arts do you do? Which one's your favorite?
I don't know if, well, I guess I do have favorites, but I studied Shaolin Kung Fu when I was younger. That was like my main style, really, growing up. And since then, I studied various different things from, like a lot of the stunt guys were instructors and stuff like that. So I studied various different things, grappling and Jiu-Jitsu and other stuff. Currently, I'm doing freestyle martial arts. So there's a lot of grappling, there's a lot of Eskrima, Kali, there's a lot of Jiu-Jitsu stuff inside it. It's really mixed martial arts, but we call it freestyle because everybody kind of says MMA. It sounds more. But yeah, it's freestyle martial arts right now. Yeah. Out of all the characters, which one was the hardest? Which was the hardest one to voice? Yeah. I said this the other day. The hardest one for me to voice was I just worked on some video game, and I went in and they showed me the sides. It was just Goblin number 13 or whatever it was, and it was just all vowels on the script. And I remember asking the director and the producer, I was like, "What? It's just vowels. What is this? I don't understand. Am I just gonna go like ooh, I, yeah, whatever?" They're like, no, Goblin noises. And I said this yesterday too. I was like, I don't know what goblin noises are. I don't know any goblins. And and I just, for whatever reason, I started thinking of these pig noises I used to make when I was a kid, and I was like, you know, and they're like, yeah, that's perfect. And so I did that for like hours, you know. I was like, you're on fire! And it was just many different things, like falling off a cliff and being like, you know, like splattering on rocks or something, or drowning, or being electrocuted. It was like a ton of dying, really, and charging and attacks and whatnot, and it really burnt my throat out. And although it was kind of fun as I was doing it, at the end of the session I had no voice, and so the next day I was supposed to start a new series, but I couldn't because I couldn't talk, and so they had to recast me in that series. So it was a bummer. So that was my least favorite. That's really the only one I can think of that I really did not like. Yeah. What did it feel like taking Adachi from the detective to Psycho? I was actually really looking forward to the Psycho part, you know. But overall, it was just kind of cool, you know. I just like how it got there, and it wasn't like, you know, I mean, unless you really know the game, you don't know it first, you know, and then you find out, and it's like, oh, okay, you know. And so that's how I found out, actually. I mean, I knew I was the antagonist, but then I was like, it doesn't seem so bad, until I got, you know, until things started going. I was like, okay, yeah, he's weird. But it was fun. I just had a lot of fun, you know. It's fun to play a villain, you know, or crazy and weird. There's just more there than playing, you know, like a young kid that's got a necklace that controls a mech, you know, which is like, that's like 90 different anime out there. Yeah, it's sometimes everyone says it's more fun to play a villain. Any other questions? Yeah. Sure. Yeah, if I see like hands, I'm just gonna be like over there.
As Yukio, can you please lecture Rin?
Kind of what?
As Yukio from Bosch, can you pretend to lecture Rin?
Pretend to lecture Rin?
Yeah. Yes.
My goodness, I don't know, but I don't know what to say though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I need Bryce here to be Red, to really get into it. Because then I need him to you know, give me some more, because otherwise it's just me talking, you know. It's like, then you can call me mole face or something. I can get even more upset.
Someone be Rin.
Another question. Any other questions? You got a question? Yes.
Is it hard to switch different voices when you're doing the Ask Your Favorite Anime Character channel?
Sometimes, yeah. Because I mean, usually when we're working on an actual show, like if I work on or whatever, I just name a couple things like Bleach, and then you know, Eureka 7 or whatever in the same day. It's not the same studio, and so I'm going somewhere else, and I can whatever, I change the voice. But Ask an Anime Character, it's just up there, and half the time it's like there's a couple characters that are like the same range, and so I'm like, how am I gonna make this different? And it's you know, it's right suddenly you have to get into character, so it's a little weird. Have you guys ever seen any of that Ask an Anime Character or been a part of those? Yeah. They are fun, they're cool, especially for any of you guys, because then you can kind of talk or make fun of like any of the anime characters, you know. While we're in the back and we're just like making fun of each other, really. Or trying to mess with each other's boards. That's pretty much all we do. It's like, if they're supposed to respond, usually we'll hit like a different button. But yeah, those are actually really hard. For whatever reason, I'm always like super tired. Like, those are like early in the morning or whatever. I'm always like so tired. And I usually like, it's usually like after my band is played that night, and so I have no voice, and then I have like a young kid voice I have to do, and I have no range in the morning. And it's like, the kids never sound like the kid. Yeah, the question is?
I was wondering, have you seen the Bridge series at 50% off?
I have not. No. Do I need to check it out?
Yeah.